I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. It. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Thing sucks.
Here we go. Welcome in. It's the Daily Puck Drop, Monday, May 12th. Welcome in, kiddos. How is everybody doing? Daily Puck Drop comes live every day on Twitter and YouTube. You can watch the show. Did you know, though, you can also listen to the show on the Puck Sports mobile app? That's right. We have our own app. I say we. I have my own app. It is the Puck Sports mobile app. You can download it from the iOS store for you iPhone users and the Google Play store for you Android lunatics. All there on the Puck Sports mobile app, which you can listen to it live, on the move, on the go, and, of course, on your Apple CarPlay there as well. So the bottom line is you have choices at 10 o'clock, and many people need choices. All right, y'all need choices at 10 o'clock. You want something live that's not yelling and screaming? You got a choice here at 10 o'clock. If you're like, hey, I came into the show a little late, what did I miss? Nothing. Trust me. But you can watch the show later on YouTube. It's always posted up there right after the show, Puck Sports YouTube channel. And then, of course, we're on all the wonderful, beautiful podcast platforms, Apple, Spotify, YouTube Music, Amazon Music, your favorite platform, all available there. As always, as you can see behind me on the video stream, we're always brought to you by and broadcasting from the Limback Lumber Studios. They got free deliveries, everything from whole house packages to homeowner DIY projects, the largest stock moldings in the Northwest. They've got old school service because they've been doing it since 1930. Give them a call at 206-782-3487. Visit them online at limbacklumber.com. Make sure to follow on all the social media platforms, Puck Sports on X and Instagram and Blue Sky, Puck_sports on TikTok, and, of course, on Facebook. And, by the way, go to pucksports.com. Lots there. Number one, you can sign up to be a Pucks Posse member, $5 a month. All it costs you, sign up for a year, you get a discount. And we'll get into it later, but Puck the Picker Majors Pool. The second major is this week, the PGA Championship. Our coverage all brought to you by Synthetic Turf Northwest. Get rid of that lawn in your backyard. Tired of the mud, tired of watering, trying to keep it green. Don't do it anymore. Synthetic Turf Northwest, and put yourself a little putting green in your backyard like I did. Jim Moore's going to do it. He's going to put a putting green in his backyard. We'll get more of our Puck the Picker Majors Pool coverage, but information is there as well at pucksports.com. You can still sign up, even though if you missed the Masters, yes, you're behind the 8 ball, but you can still try and win some of our fabulous prizes that we will highlight a little bit later in the show. Without further ado, though, wearing the Mariners baseball cap from Bend, Oregon, fresh off a hike with his dogs on the banks of the Deschutes River where he had the dogs off leash, and sometimes people complain, sometimes they don't. Ladies and gentlemen, the go-to guy, Jim Moore, brought to you by.
Hey, Puck, I'll get into that in a second if you want to, because I have a news story for you about my neighbors. There was a letter left on Mikey's windshield to us. You might enjoy it. I suck as a neighbor, apparently, and as a dog owner, but I'm a hell of a friend to you and to anyone who wants to be friends with me. And a clean streak. I'm a hell of an endorser for a clean streak, right? A clean streak. Come on, man. Professional window and exterior cleaning service, proudly serving Island and Skagit counties for more than 10 years. Brian Turner. Great guy, capable crew. They're going to clean your roof. They're going to unclog your gutters. They will pressure wash your driveway and your patio. They'll do it all for you. They'll wash your windows. You got to take them up on it. I'm going to give you $50 if you hire them to do a job for you between now and the end of May. So for a free estimate, call 360-395-5748 or visit acleanstreak.com.
Okay, let's get into it. Before we get into the other things, a lot coming up on the show today. We're going to talk about the Mariners, Bryce Miller. By the way, Bill Krueger is back, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, he is. And he's uncensored Bill Krueger I was almost going to say Root Sports, but no longer with Root Sports. We do talk about that on today's appearance with Bill Krueger. Old School Baseball's got a brand new Twitter handle. Okay? I want everybody to follow him. old school underscore MLB. Old school underscore MLB. He also has the Old School Baseball podcast. Episode 2 is out on all your favorite podcast platforms. And when you go to old school underscore MLB on Twitter, by the way, he does like these little 2-minute videos like every single day, like after games, before games, just kind of clearing his thoughts on the Mariners. But Bill Krueger back every single Monday here on the Daily Puck Drop. That's a big deal. Not as a big deal as you, but it's a big deal.
No, right? Bill Krueger is a big deal. That's a bigger deal than me. I mean, God, that guy knows baseball inside and out, and why Root Sports didn't retain him is ridiculous. I mean, he should have been kept. I mean, did he talk about that? Is he disappointed? What is he?
You got to watch and listen to it.
Oh, shit. Come on. Come on, man. It's me. It's your buddy, right? Come on. Like
he gets into it. Yes, he's very
Does he rip on Root Sports for not keeping him?
I wouldn't characterize.
Does he think that he wasn't? Does he think he wasn't kept because he was too candid?
I didn't say that. He honestly doesn't know why.
Well, I think that's why. That's my opinion. I think he didn't sugarcoat things enough for him and thought, "Oh, let's get rid of him," because it couldn't have been because of his analysis.
But I think it's important to say not Root Sports, because I think Root Sports is just a name. I mean, it would say the Mariners because the Mariners run it.
Okay. All right, fine. Well, whoever made the decision blew it. And same thing with Blowers, unless Blowers had some health reasons.
I don't know why Mike's no longer there, but yeah, we get into that, and we get into the whole season. I mean, we just do a whole review of where we're at with the season, the pitchers, Bryce Miller, all of it. I looking forward to it. Coming up, I don't know, about 10:45. Whenever Jim says, "Oh, I gotta go because I have a PT appointment that I forgot to tell you about," then we'll play Bill Krueger. What happened on? Okay, did something happen on the trail? But we've already pissed off the neighbors.
My God! Yeah,
already. How long have you been in the new house?
Let me try since January. Let me try and do this. Let me turn around because I want to show you the area that we're talking about in the neighborhood. Okay.
Time out. Whatever you're about to do will knock you off, but okay, go ahead and do it.
No, it won't knock me off. I'm just going to turn this around, and I think the camera will show the neighborhood that we live in. Can you see the street?
I see the street. Yes.
Okay, gotcha. You can see the street. Okay, now you see the yard there. That's where you're not supposed to park because there's a sign right there. You can't read the sign, but you can see the sign on the post. There's a sign that says no parking this side. And, come on, Puck. Every neighborhood that anyone has ever lived in, has there ever been a sign that said no parking this side of the street? Unless there's a fire hydrant. We all understand if there's a fire hydrant that you can't park on that side of the street.
Let me jump in here, though. Do you live in a neighborhood with HOAs?
Yes.
Okay. And in that HOA that you signed as a new homeowner, did you read them thoroughly? And that homeowner's in that HOA,
and then I went back over it again to make sure I didn't miss anything.
In the HOA, do you think, educated guess, have some language in there that said there is no parking on the sidewalk?
Well, it's not the sidewalk. It's on that side of the street. And there is a sign that says no parking on this side of the street. Okay. You're probably right about what you just said. But go back in history of your life and you think of any neighborhood you've ever been in. Has there ever been a sign in the neighborhood that said you can't park on one side of the street or the other unless there's a fire hydrant? Like, here's my issue with that. If I don't park on this side of the street, I'm going to park on the other side of the street where it's okay to do that, which means I will be right in front of my neighbor's house. Yeah, I mean, do you like having cars parked in front of your house if you can avoid it? I suppose it's not that big a deal, but I don't want to park in front of the neighbor's house. And here's the other thing, Puck, that is so fucking stupid. Like every neighborhood, you've got people parked along the side of the street, okay? And if that means that you have to go single file and wait for someone who's coming in the opposite direction, you do that, you wave to them, no fucking big deal at all. You know, it's just one of those things. It holds you up for what, 10 seconds? You know, it's not a big deal. But, you know, we don't need to have everybody, you know, going back and forth, all together. It's not a highly trafficked road at all. There's not that many people coming through here. Okay, so that's my point. All right. So Mikey was here last week, and he parked right there where he shouldn't have parked. Okay, so then some asshole, wrote in felt pen, hey, can't you read the sign, whatever, and so.
Wait, hold on. Time out. Did it actually say, hey, can't you read the sign?
Yeah, I think so. That was the first one. I've got the second one the guy wrote because
we have multiple letters.
Well, because Mikey chose to park there again the next day, and we kind of ignored the handwritten note. So this time, the guy wrote. The guy thought, well, God, I'm going to sit down on my computer and I'm going to write this and print it out. Okay, here's what he said. Here's what he said. You ready? How complicated is no parking this side, especially as you are parked directly in front of the sign? Our streets aren't wide enough for parking on both sides and to allow people to safely drive both directions, which is why the signs exist. So you were either too stupid to read or too much of an asshole to care about your neighbors. So far, with your dogs that bark all hours of the day and night and your crappy parking, you've started out as really shitty neighbors. I wish I could say welcome to the neighborhood, but so far, we all wish you'd never arrived.
No way.
And,
hold on. That is an actual letter from a neighbor. Did he put his name on this, or they put their name on this?
No, because
of course they didn't.
He's a pussy.
Yeah, of course they didn't put their name on it.
Yeah. No, there it is right there. See? I mean,
we wish you had never moved in. What a bunch of assholes. Now
okay,
listen, I think, hold on. You're in clear violation of this rule, which is fine. But now that because you are, because literally the sign says don't park here, so don't park there. It's not that hard. I would agree. But this guy or this person has gone over the top. The dogs bark, we wish you'd never moved. So F that guy or that person. Screw him.
Okay, so
park there every single day for the rest of the time you live here. That's what I would do.
Okay, so you're saying
I would take the sign down.
A violator and continue to do it anyway.
You choose what you want to do. Clearly, you have violated it because there's a sign there that says "Don't park there." So don't park there. And Mikey, which is basically just Mikey's just a younger version of you. He's exactly the same person. He's decided I'll park where I'll do whatever I want to do. So it's not that hard. It's not that hard. I'm just saying because this is a constant pattern with you, which I love. It's somebody else's fault, not yours. That's your pattern of who you are. It's always somebody else's fault, not yours.
Okay,
you are violating the rule.
I know that.
Clear.
But
now
it's a stupid fucking rule.
I agree, but it's a rule, and it's in your HOAs and all that stuff. I would assume. But the way that this neighbor has handled it, F them, because what you do is be a man and walk up to knock on your door and just say, "Hey, my name is Bill, or my name is Cindy. Welcome to the neighborhood. Just want to let you know there's a sign here that says you can't park here. We don't really think it's a good rule either. Or even if they did think it was a rule, you just say, we don't agree with it either, but just what it is. I just want to let you know if you can park on the other side, it'd be great. Here are the reasons. I hope it's not too much of a hassle. But you don't handle it that way. Because that's just to write a letter and to not put your name on it is such chicken shit.
Well, I'm going to give him a break. I'm going to give him a break on one thing because I did not realize that dogs were barking when we leave. And what I think happened is that we left a couple times, the dogs for 4 hours when we went golfing or something. And we leave the back door open so they can go out in the yard and do their business, And I think that's when they go out. There's an adjacent park, a lot of activity. River's not used to that. And so he probably barks at the kids that are on the play set. So we're gonna take care of that and keep them inside when we leave, and hopefully that'll solve that problem. And then I'm gonna stop parking in front. I'm not gonna be a total dick anymore, and so we won't do that anymore. But you're right. You know what Kathy did? I'm a beta male, and so I'm just like, what's that? what's that term? I just talk behind people's backs and I don't confront.
You're passive aggressive.
Thank you. I'm classic Seattle passive aggressive guy, and I've taken that down here too. Like, I'm nice to people, but I'm not going to invite them over. I'm that Seattle guy that's moved to Bend. I am. I admit that. But Kathy, she's an alpha female, man. She got this letter and she was like, well, who the fuck does he think he is? And we automatically assume it's a male, right? Maybe it's a female.
It could be. It could. I don't know. I mean, who knows? Yeah, right. Yeah. I don't know.
It could be. And so she got that letter and she just went out in the neighborhood and she started marching around trying to find out who wrote it.
Damn right she did. That's Kathy Moore, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
An American woman.
And so she went and talked to the neighbor Candy, and now they're on, and Candy knows the neighborhood, and she's going to do some trolling around and try and find out who left.
How many houses, how many homes are in the neighborhood?
Well, on this little loop, there's I don't know. There's probably 6 or 8 potential candidates who could have written that. And I
knock on every door. Knock on every door.
Mostly people on one side of the neighborhood, because the other people on the other side don't have to deal with the anguish of having to wait, to go single file on the street.
This is an easy thing then. Then if there's only 6 or 7, knock on the door. You're going to know right away, by the way. You'll know right away.
Go up to every door, and do you think based on this person and what he wrote, assuming again that it's a man, that I'll be able to read? I mean, do you think if would you lie if you're him? You think you'll lie about
it? We have to stop assuming it's a man here. Them.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, listen.
He, him, she, her.
She, her. Okay. You will know, because of this person is such a weak individual that they do this and they don't put their name on it. So they're scared.
I'm the one in the wrong here, though.
Okay, but they're scared of their own shadow. Agreed. We are in agreement. You are in the wrong. You have violated. What's the name of your neighborhood?
Would you hate living next to me? Do you think I'd be that terrible?
No, I don't think that. What is the name of your neighborhood?
River Rim.
Wow, great name. River Rim. The River Rim neighborhood. You are in violation of the River Rim HOA. That we know. We know there's no. You're going to court. You're guilty as charged.
Correct.
But what this neighbor
is a car that just went by and you had to slow down a little bit.
But this neighbor is guilty of is being a bad neighbor and being a bad person, because that's not how you handle something like that. That's bullshit. And so here's what you're going to do. You're going to walk up, you're going to knock on every door. And you're going to say, here's a letter that I was given. And because this person is weak, you're going to know right away. 1, eye contact. 2, they may blush. They may slam the door in their face, or they may even admit, yeah, that's me. They won't admit it's them, but you're going to know. You will know right away who it is. And I can't wait. Now, here's what I don't want you to do. When you find that person, don't be one of these jackasses that has a phone with them and start recording. Oh, what do you think I did wrong? I hate these people. I want everybody in the world to be shipped on the barge and shipped out to the Pacific Ocean. They have to, every time there's a conflict now, everyone's got their phones out. Oh, see, you're not doing this right. You're not doing this right. Look at this jackass. Did you see like the 2 Frontier idiot women for Frontier Airlines? Did you see these dipsticks? No. Oh, God. They're the 2 biggest jackasses you'll ever see at Frontier Airlines. Well, you just go find it.
Let's face it, though. I would screw up the recording anyway.
That's true. You would screw up the recording.
Yeah.
Don't pull out your phone and start recording them.
No,
handle it like an adult and be like, and then handle it reasonably. Just say, hey, I was in violation of it. Take cell phone. Just say, I was wrong. I'm sorry. We did it once. We did it twice. We shouldn't have done that. My son did it. We should not have done that, and you were right. And then just be like, what I don't understand is why such the vile letter?
Yeah.
Why? I mean, to write something like that to where you say to a neighbor, which we don't have to be friends, but we can be neighborly, that everyone wishes in the neighborhood that we don't live here. Why would you do something like that?
Well, you just reach a point of being frustrated. Maybe he's got second thoughts about doing it. Okay, I'll do that. I will do that. I'll walk around. I'll wait until after 5 o'clock when they get home from work, and see if I can find who it was.
Get a couple of Jack Daniels.
I feel bad about the dog part. Like, everybody thinks I'm just such a deadbeat dog owner. Oh my God, I got a story to tell you real quick about my dogs too. This is like something I've never heard from anybody, and you'll probably go, Jim, you deserve that one too. I was up over Shevlin Park, a nice trail system up there.
I know Shevlin Park.
Yeah, and there is a sign that says your dogs must be on a leash, and so here we go again. But I'm that guy that's like, shit, my dog's like. I mean, dogs like being off leash. They do. They want to.
We all agree.
They want to smell things.
We all agree. Yes.
And I would say that there are 50% of the dog owners on the Shevlin Park trail system that obey, follow the rules, and the others, like me, don't. Okay. Well, I was out there the other day, and the dogs were off leash, and they were off the trail just investigating, different stuff, smelling different things. Not even on the trail. I see an older guy, and I realize I'm an older guy, but the guy was even older than me, probably, I don't know, early to mid 70s. And he had a walking stick. Okay. And so he's walking toward me. And then all of a sudden he stops and he points at sky. And I thought, well, God, that's weird. And then he kind of turned and he pointed at river. And they were 15, 20 feet away from him, didn't even come up to smell him, did nothing aggressive in nature at all. They were just being dogs smelling, the sagebrush. And I thought, well, God, that's weird that he did that. But, whatever, there's this oldster out for a walk. And then he proceeds to walk toward me. And I'm walking toward him. And he tells me, he walks by me and he goes, next time they're getting the sharp end of the stick. And I looked at him and I go, look, pal, you do that and I'm going to be all over your ass. And I was mad later. I thought, yeah, okay, you do that. I'll be shoving the sharp end of that stick up your ass. Okay?
I'm shoving you in the Deschutes, my friend.
If the guy had been, because I saw that he was in his 70s, and I decided, I'm not a fighter, but I thought, shit, I could take this oldster. If the guy had been in his 30s or 40s and had tattoos and was buff and everything, I would have said, yes, sir, I'll make sure my dogs are on a leash next time.
Why can't people, honestly, when there's something like that, okay, again, it goes back to there's just another way for this guy to handle it. Now, again, let's start at the beginning of the story and repeat after me. Jim.
Jim. I think I can handle more than 2 words. While we're doing this.
Jim, am wrong again.
Am wrong again. That's 3 words. Okay, good.
About having my dogs off leash on a trail.
Ooh, that was kind of long. About having my dog off leash on a trail.
But okay, now we can stop. But I would say to the old man, you can just, hey, dogs are supposed to be on a leash. Maybe next time, something like, hey, a lot of people complain. I've even seen people out here writing tickets. You might want to put them on a leash. I don't. But next time, I'm going to kill your dogs. That's a hell of a way to introduce yourself to somebody. But again, let's start with the root problem. You violating yet another city ordinance.
I know, Puck. I know. And if I'm a listener watching this shit right now, I'm going, God, Jim, God, what a bad human being. I'm sorry. I just, if I'm a dog, I want to be off leash. I'm sorry.
I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. But no, somebody said you did the same thing with the dogs on your precious ball fields. All right, Mark, I'll bring this up. Mark, what I did was when dogs were on a ball field, that is fenced in on turf, and we were practicing, I asked them, hey, we're about to practice. Do you mind taking your dogs off? And the guy said, no. I come here every day, and I will continue to come here every day. And that's what I was like, yeah, but it's a baseball field. Like, I don't care if you're here when we're not playing baseball. You do whatever the fuck you want. I mean, whatever. But We're playing baseball, and your dogs are running. Your dogs are running around right now, and every time we hit a ball, is taking the ball. So get them off. And then I went off on the guy. So that was Mark. That was my point with them.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to try and do better, but you sure you don't want me to do a recording when I go around? Because I think you would enjoy.
No. I don't want a recording. I mean, secretly I do, but I don't. Just don't be that guy.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll report back to you on Wednesday and see what I come up with. I don't know. I'll have to have a couple courage to go and do it, like, knocking on the door and then, did you write this?
Hey, I'm just telling you, I want Kathy to handle it.
Oh, God.
Kathy's got the balls in the family here.
Oh, God, does she ever? I have a great story to tell you about Kathy, but I got to get clearance from the CEO at my house to be able to tell you. It's a freaking beauty. Yeah. It tops the sharp end of the stick. It tops parking on the wrong side of the street.
And here's what I want you to do. If you do discover who it is of your neighbors that wrote the letter, here's what I want. God, this is an all-timer. Let's say they're on the opposite side of the street, right? Mm-hmm. And you can park on the opposite side, correct?
You can, yes.
Park in front of their fucking house every day.
Okay.
Every single day. Every day.
Even if it's like a couple hundred yards away from me and I have to walk a little ways.
Yes. Every day. You park that piece of shit truck with grass growing in the back every day in front of their house. And I want one step further.
You're calling my Ridgeline a piece of shit when you own that Volkswagen van that should be in the trash heap?
Oh, she's dying too. I need a new engine. I'm about to start a GoFundMe page for a new engine. She's dying. And then depending on what your neighborhood is like, if you can gauge whether it's conservative or liberal, put a flag of the opposite side on said truck. That's what I want. So let's say they're super.
That's a great idea. Find out.
Yeah. So let's say they're super conservative.
If he's a liberal.
Yeah.
And then get a Trump
flag. Yeah, the whole thing. Yeah, Trump van sign. Now, if they're super conservative, get a big pride flag.
Okay.
Outside, a big pride flag right outside.
I'm guessing most people, I think, in Bend are liberal. Not so much.
A lot of California people. I wouldn't assume that. No. I think it's more conservative than you think. Pride flag if it's conservative. Trump flag if it's liberal.
That's great, Puck. God. You know what? The Puckett crisis firm is. You really should make extra money if you need supplemental income. You need to open up the doors for that office. I'm telling you.
And then just be like, when the neighbor complains, why aren't you parking by your house? Why? I can park wherever you said I could park on this side anywhere I want. So I'm not violating the rules anymore. And just park in front of that thing and don't clean it. Let it, just continue just to be the what it is, and it's a great truck. That's not saying that. I'm just saying it's all of it. Just don't clean it at all.
I have worried about that because I got the Ridgeline parked out in the driveway right now, and I keep waiting because one of the neighborhoods we lived in, it was like we had an older truck. It wasn't the Ridgeline, but got complaints about that. I worry that somebody's going to say, "Hey, man, I know you got yard work and things to haul to the dump, but could you maybe park that in the garage?"
But that's what. Yeah, there's another step besides either the Trump or pride flag on the truck. Let's just have the bed of the truck just a bunch of garbage in it, like an old. How about? Is there any old like refrigerator you can put back in there, or an old like washer dryer or something? You're going to go to the dump.
Okay. Oh my God. Well, wouldn't that confirm that I was an asshole though in what he wrote in that letter? That would
we don't need any confirmation of that, sir.
Okay. And then I suppose you'd probably like it if I took a picture of that and posted it on Twitter or gave it to Puck Sports. Yeah.
I can't wait.
The ridge line with a pride flag, you would like that?
Yeah, either or. Either flag. I don't care. Maybe to be safe, because you don't know what the neighbor is, because I don't think you're just going to walk around and be like, hey, are you conservative or liberal? Just put both up there and see what happens.
Okay. All right. God, you're going to feel bad if this guy, like if I go around and I find out who the guy is and he pulls out a gun and shoots me.
Not going to have a gun.
Will you feel bad? Will you say nice shit about me at the memorial?
Yes. Do you think someone that writes a passive-aggressive letter that doesn't put their name on it is strapped up? Slim to none.
Probably not. Yeah, probably.
That guy's doing Wordle every night, or gal, whoever it is.
Well, I'm doing Wordle every night.
Well, there you go. You're passive-aggressive.
Okay, I'll report back to you on Wednesday with that. So yeah, it's been an active week. I'll tell you, it's crazy. I was in Seattle over the weekend, though. We had a great time.
I am not done with the story. We will get to Seattle. Now, I'm down there in a few weeks. If this is not resolved by the time I get down there, I will be going around and knocking on the doors.
Oh, you're going to do it for me?
If I have to.
Okay. Oh, no, I'll get it done before then. Yeah.
Because I am your crisis manager.
Yeah. I'll take care of it. I'll find out, and we'll see. And I think it'll be, it should be entertaining.
I got another thing for you. Here's another thing. This is a good one. Let's find out who it is. Then when I come down there, well, I know you're only there for a day, right? Just that Friday. We'll pop on over there. Maybe I'll bring the dogs. I don't know.
Well, when are you coming? You coming like the 21st?
The Thursday, whatever the Thursday before. Thursday, the 22nd.
Okay, that's the only day I'll be here.
You're not there Friday?
No, we got to get to Boise for a wedding.
Okay, let me know when you discover the neighbor. I'll drive over there. I'll park the van in front of their house. They'll love that. Maybe I'll bring the barbecue and just set up a barbecue outside.
Okay. All right, that'd be good.
How was Mother's Day?
Oh, it was great. You know what? I just made a special trip up to Seattle because I wanted to be with my mom. She's 95 years old. I don't know how many more Mother's Days I have left with her, and spent the whole weekend with her. We watched the Mariner game Friday night from a bar that's near and dear to your heart, I think, Apogee there in Fairwood.
Yep, the Apogee Tavern, baby.
And she hung out there for the whole 3 hours watching that whole Mariner game, suffering with every other Mariner fan when they had the bases loaded and no outs in the 8th inning and didn't score. She's just such a big Mariner fan. God, Jimmy, I just love our third baseman, our new third baseman. And every time he's up to bat, she'll like nudge her husband and say, hey, Williamson's up again. Williamson's up. God, she loves him. Just absolutely loves him.
So do I.
And then Saturday we drove around. I said, hey, Mom, why don't we take a trip down memory lane? And so we did. We drove back to the old neighborhood where I grew up, and our house doesn't exist there anymore, but we reminisced about the neighborhood and different things we did. And
what neighborhood did you grow up in?
It was Westlake Sammamish up above, though, kind of on Northeast 40th Street between Bellred Road and Westlake Sammamish Parkway. And it's just, my dad would absolutely die if he was, my dad died 30 years ago, but he just, the changes in the neighborhood, like Vingy's pasture, like Puck, where my bus stop is. And no offense, people can do whatever they want to do. But I used to go to this bus stop when I was a kid, and the Vingies, owned a grocery store in Redmond. It was called the V&B, and there were cows and everything in the pasture. Well, there's houses there and a Buddhist temple at the end of the street. And so things have changed considerably there in the neighborhood. But we enjoyed going back. I'll just skip over that part. We enjoyed going back. But I pictured my dad going, Jesus Christ.
Well, it's it's funny because we were out there this week, all weekend long, out in that area, out in Redmond, and you forget, and it's like we were at Marymore Park baseball tournament. But
and like Marymore's still great.
Yeah, you're driving out there, and you just and then we went back to that Dairy Queen that's over by Eastlake High School. So I'm going back there, and you drive back there, and you just realize that God, it's just it's kind of farm country out here, and you're not too far removed from Seattle. You can envision what it used to be probably 20, 30 years ago, where it's farms, it's farmland.
Well, I lived on the plateau one marriage ago on the south end, and we went up there too, my mom and I, on Saturday, and it's changed so much too.
Sure.
It's
beautiful.
so and Redmond the way it is now. I know there's maybe a lot of people that are listening right now and watching and that live in Redmond now and love it, but God, it was so much better back in the day. It just really was. It's just
I bet.
overrun with people there. But anyway, so we had a good time reminiscing, and then went to the Mariner game Saturday night with Kathy and the kids, and bought the kids their first beer there at T-Mobile, because they're 21 now. Puck, this won't surprise you at all. 4 Modelo's and a bag of peanuts, $68. Yeah. So, but
go behind home plate. That's where the value beer is.
I know, but I just, the gal that was the concession coming up the stairs.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Yeah, and then Sunday we had brunch at Maplewood and Mother's Day brunch. So yeah, it was nice, really nice.
Good old Maplewood. I'm so old school. I remember when it was just 9 holes.
9 holes?
Used to only be 9 holes.
God,
yep. Never was 18. I mean, I don't know when they switched. I mean, I graduated in '94, so it was. It had to be. It was after that. But yeah, it was only 9 holes. Yeah. Just that front side.
It was just a great weekend coming up and sharing it with my mom. So, and I hope everybody shared it with their moms. And
we did. We were John it over to Paulsbo late. The last ferry out of Paulsbo at 10:40. That was a late night, but that was good. It was good. Lots of fun. Happy Mother's Day.
Okay,
Post Mother's Day to everyone.
I want to hear what she said to you when you came over.
Jason, it's just so good to see you. And look at the kids. The kids, they're so much older now. How was your weekend? Oh, we had a lot of baseball. Oh, okay. How many points did you get? You don't get points. You get runs. Oh, okay. Did you have fun? Yeah, she was great. It's great to catch up.
Good deal.
Yeah, we were baseball all weekend long. Bombs for Moms tournament. What a great name. Yeah, that's what it's called. It's called Bombs for Moms.
No way. Really?
Yes, yeah. Baseball tournament all weekend. Bombs for Moms.
And so you played over at Marymore.
Marymore Park, yeah. Great park. Yeah. God, those are great fields. So much fun.
And they have a great off-leash dog area there. Probably the best in Seattle.
It is. It's a wonderful designated off-leash dog area.
Yes, it is.
But yeah, it was fun. Yeah. All the teams, it was really great. All the teams all dressed in pink, teams got pink jerseys, pink socks, pink belts, all for the moms.
Yeah.
My mom
you went
we went 2-1. It was good. Yeah, we did well. Yeah.
Okay.
Mom's drinking mimosas, but they call them mimosas.
Mimosas
getting after
red Solo cups, or did we just go with it?
Red Solo cups. A lot of red Solo cups out. Yeah, a lot of wagons. All the pulley wagons. So it was great. It was lots of fun. And they all said the same thing. Hey, it's great to be out here, but I'm just thinking not every mom out here is great. Is like, oh, this is great. Some of them are like, I'd rather be at home.
Oh yeah, probably. I noticed at Maplewood early on that there weren't too many cars in the parking lot.
Yeah,
and probably a bunch of guys going, God, we got to be home today. We can't play golf.
So Saturday was the other 6-3 loss. That was the Logan Evans game. That's the Carlos Vargas peed down his leg game.
Yeah. 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 Vargas has been good, but he wasn't that night.
How about this kid that was born and grew up in Bellevue, this Addison Barger guy?
Yeah. That
Jesus.
Yeah, you didn't really need the Blue Jays to have. I mean, the Blue Jays came to life, 17-20 when they got to town, and then suddenly they looked like an offensive juggernaut. Defensively, they were so good all weekend too.
Oh my God! Was it Friday night? They made probably 3 or 4 just amazing plays. Bichette made 2 of them. Who was the center fielder that made the one at the wall? Was that Friday night? Yeah, because that was on Williamson.
Yeah, it took the home run away from Williamson.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's a good team. I mean, listen, they got swept. I don't think it's certainly not the end of the world. Starting pitching needs to get going. It is bottom of 3rd in baseball right now.
Puck, you were the first one to suggest that there were problems with Bryce Miller, and
I think
it was clear. I was listening to the post-game show yesterday. I've never heard a player interview last as long as it did, where I kept hoping that the announcer would say, okay, we heard from Bryce Miller, but it just kept going and going and going. And you can tell that it's a guy that has physical issues, mental issues,
yes,
mechanical issues. And when you put them all together, that's what we're seing. It's not the Bryce Miller that we saw last year, clearly. Everybody knows that. And they need to shut him down. They need to shut him down. But then what? I don't know who the next guy up is down at Tacoma or wherever. Or how about just try? I mean, Toronto won with a bullpen game yesterday. You could try that. But
I don't know, man.
You can't trot Miller out there next 5 days from now, can you?
It's just not good. He's the velocity. To me, the red flag is this, and they've no doubt have to have the same red flag with him. Now, either he's not admitting to something structurally wrong with him, because only he can tell them, hey, do you feel any pain? And if he's like, I just don't feel any pain, he could very well be lying to them. And players lie. They just do. But he has been talking from the very first start about how sore he is. Now, again, and we get into this with Krueger, and Krueger is going to join me here coming up soon. But there's a difference between you're sore or, between hurt and injured. But, God, that's a gray area. There's a fine line there. And I don't know, is it something that is, is it a sharp pain, or is it something like just soreness, like just dealing with like this? It's kind of a nagging thing. And I don't know. I don't know how these guys can tell that. But, I mean, look at his velocity. If he's throwing a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Anyone in the world's going to hit that.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And they did.
Springer did. Yeah. I would think that you'd reach a point, though, even if you're the highly competitive guy and, you have managers and coaches talking about you going, God, really appreciate his toughness. Well, toughness can be stupid sometimes too, where you need to just kind of listen to your body and just admit. I mean, Bryce Miller's at a point where he's admitting he's not the pitcher he used to be. And so there's contributing factors to that. And whatever they are, they need to be worked out at Tacoma. They can't be worked out at the big league level anymore.
Yeah, and I mean, it's one of these things. I don't know if you have time. Do you, Krueger and I talked about this, but do you have time to wait? You don't have time right now to wait for Gilbert to come back. I mean, you could have Kirby come back, and then if Kirby comes back, then you could do something with Bryce Miller.
You can, but do you want to have Miller start one more game?
That's the thing. If he's not
post-game interview, I thought, man, you got to do something with this kid. You don't want to shake his confidence and have something be a long-term issue that can be fixed in the short term. I'll tell you what, if he goes back on the mound the next start, I'm betting on the other team. I'm going to take advantage of it. I mean, shit. Come on.
But we started, I want to put the bow on the Addison Barger story. So this guy this weekend, 462, 500, 923. That was his slash with the 5 runs driven in. So I read a little bit about him. There was a story on like MLB Canadian did a story on him. He spent the minors up in Vancouver. So he grew up in Bellevue. He was homeschooled in Bellevue until he was like 6 years old. But when he grew up in Bellevue, they must have lived on some big ass property. They had a full-size diamond in his backyard field.
Did he ever go to Bellevue High School or Newport?
No, because they reading just this one story sounds like he and his family moved to Florida when he was 6. So then he was gone. But early on, and then he said about 10, it kind of sounds like a little Marinovich dad situation here, but maybe not bad. But like he decided when he was 10 that the goal was to be a Major League Baseball player. So it was like all focus, homeschooled, all focuses on baseball. So.
Where are you on homeschooling?
I'm not a fan.
Oh God, I think it's the worst thing ever, man. When I hear people are getting homeschooled, I'm going, you know what? They do have people that are teachers that are trained to do it. And why do mom and dad think that they can do it themselves?
It's more about the social aspect.
The social aspect too, yeah. I mean, come on. Come
To
on.
each
I guess
their own.
everybody can do whatever they want, but
Yeah.
I'm completely out on homeschooling. I think you're doing your kid a disservice if you're doing that. But
Where are you at with dogs off leash?
I think you know where I am with that one.
Yes, I do. All right. What do you got planned for the rest of the day?
Today's a big day, Puck, because the outdoor furniture is going to arrive.
Oh,
I've got a
thank
guy
God.
coming in that's going to mount all 3 TVs, 2 in the Krueger room, 1 outdoors. But the weather's shitty here, man. It's like it's only going to be 50 degrees here, so I don't know. I was picturing myself sitting in the new outdoor furniture with a cocktail, watching the Yankees and the Mariners outside tonight. But
you still can.
Might not,
still have time.
Yeah, might not happen. Yeah.
All right. Well, have fun with that. Send us a picture, and we'll see you on Wednesday.
Okay, Puck. Take care. Go Cougs.
Go Cougs. There he is. Jim Moore with us every Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, brought to you by A Clean Streak. A Clean Streak is a professional window exterior cleaning services. Visit them today, acleanstreak.com. As I mentioned before, Bill Krueger is back with us. Every Monday, he'll be sitting down talking baseball with us. We'll be catching up with Bill early in the morning because he's got stuff to do as well. And I'm thrilled to have Bill back on the show. He's got a brand new podcast out there called Old School Baseball. You can find it on all podcast platforms, by the way. And you can follow him on a new X handle, old school _MLB. Old school _MLB. Of course, we addressed the decision to be left off the Mariners broadcast team, the pitching situation, Bryce Miller, Jorge Polanco, Julio Rodriguez. I mean, it is a in-depth kind of review of where the Seattle Mariners are right now. But again, thrilled to have Bill Krueger back on once a week, talking baseball every single Monday here on Puck Sports, pucksports.com, and the Daily Puck Drop. Be more thrilled than to welcome this man back. It's been a while. We had to negotiate through his many, many agents. You think Juan Soto has an army of agents? No one, and I mean no one, has an army of agents than Mr. William Krueger, who joins us on Puck Sports. He's going to be back with us weekly every Monday, talking Mariners baseball. He's got a brand new venture we're going to get into because this guy, he's trying to take over our empire. This guy is going to be a social media and podcast sensation. Bill Krueger's back with us here on the Daily Puck Drop. Bill, it's good to see you again. You look great.
You too, Jason. Yeah, the layers of people. Sometimes the message gets a little muffled. It just need to be you and me having a conversation, right? That's really what it comes down to. It happens all the time in business, and then things get taken care of, right?
Yeah, it's when point A and point B just talk it out. And I'm just tired of the emails back and forth with the lawyers and agents and all that.
Yeah, well, it's a hard, tough world, isn't it?
All right, so let's get into it. You're back. Tell me about it. Old School Baseball. It's a new podcast venture that you've started. It's on all podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple, wherever you find your podcast. You're also doing something really cool that I love on X, Twitter, where you're doing these little 2-minute videos kind of talking about baseball and whether it's about the game that just wrapped up or something that you're noticing with the Mariners. And you can follow Bill on that platform at old school _MLB. Old school _MLB. I love this, the little 2-minute quick little recaps of any Mariners news. But it's very cool venture for you to stay a part of the game, right?
I had to take a breather for a little bit once things settled with the broadcast team for the Mariners, and I decided that it was time for me to develop my own brand, and I am pushing a rock up a hill. You're well-established mainstream superstar talent. I'm just glad to be on your show. I'm trying to figure out how to get my voice out there. I think some of it is cathartic. It's kind of rehabilitative for me because I just can't seem to get off the bike because I just do enjoy analyzing the game, and it's in my blood, and the rhythm of the game is still there for me. So I was fortunate to meet up with a guy that's become a very good friend of mine that has helped me develop this brand a little bit. It's helped me a little bit with the technology. I know you're shocked to hear that, Jason, because I'm so technically, brilliant. It's just hard to believe I need anybody. But between he and I, we've come up with this idea of old school baseball, and I think it's fitting. It speaks to how I grew up in the game, the simplest way, from mimicking my stars on television in the backyard, playing wiffle ball and playing Sand-A-Lot, to my journey into the game and to playing it for a long time, and playing it before a lot of the technology had really taken hold in the game and the advanced stats and so forth. And it doesn't mean that means old school baseball is the only way to look at it, and new school baseball is all wrong. It's just trying to reflect upon that part of the game and why I think it's important.
How much can before we get more into that, can we hit the reverse button here for a second? And I want you to talk about as much as you want or not want to what happened and what transpired with the Mariners broadcast, because I want you to be an open book if you want to be an open book. What transpired? Obviously, they went through a lot of changes with it. You were not part of those changes. So where did you leave it at? What happened? How did that make you feel?
Well, I wasn't happy about not being there anymore. 25 years of really being, I think it's fair for me to say that I was a mainstay on the product. And I think the disappointing part was the lack of communication that I didn't really find out until after the fact, till it was already announced. And I put my hat in the ring, at least as I thought I should or could, because there was a little bit of like me guessing that things were changing and kind of letting the Mariners know that I was available, to literally finding out that Root Sports' doors are closing or were closing in April. They've closed. I mean, you still have the brand, but it doesn't mean it's Root Sports anymore. There's no building out there on 156 that's gone, right? There's no team of people out there doing that work. It's called Root Sports, but it's not really Root Sports. It's Mariners baseball. And that's fine. It's, picking broadcasters, like anything, it's subjective. And they had to make some choices. They had a big gap to fill. You have Dave Sims, who is a big player on their product, leave and go to New York and get kind of his dream job, taking over John Sterling. You can't knock him for that. And then, of course, Mike Blauer's departing was a huge hole to fill. Those guys were big. And so they had a lot of regrouping to do. Plus, they were taking over broadcast. So that changed perspective, I assume, because now it wasn't so much Root Sports and the Mariners figuring it out. It was the Mariners figuring it out. And so you have the collection of talent. Aaron Goldsmith's doing almost all the games. They've shortened the team on the radio side. Of course, Dan Wilson's not available. He's down in the dugout. And so you've added the new element would be Jay Buhner. And Jay came on in the series down in Texas and provided some color. He's very colorful. And I don't need to regroup the rest of the talent there. But it's disappointing. I think it's subjective. That's fair. And I think the only thing that I really I'm not happy about was the lack of communication. That I think I deserve to have someone get a hold of me and say, look, this is the direction that we're going, and we really appreciate everything you've done. And that's just, and hopefully give me some rationale. And then we go on from there. So I think it just allowed me to take a deep breath and think about, this could be a new page for me. Seize the opportunity, seize it and look at it from a different angle. And that's what I've tried to do. I now have the openness to express myself as I think and see the game. And that doesn't mean that it will be, in any harsh tones. It's just going to be, I think, in a fair way, as I say, unvarnished and not homogenized responses.
Did you ever get a chance to ever communicate or talk to them why there wasn't communication to you, why you were not a part of it after the fact? Did you ever get an answer to that?
To a degree, I didn't really get a really solid response on that, other than that according to the people that I talked to, they had no real problem with me. I think they had a bake-off, and they had a beauty contest, and I wasn't pretty enough. So that's how it went. I really have come to I think I've kind of settled that in my own mind, and I mean, Brad and Angie were my partners forever on the air, and I root for them every day. And I think that Angie in the analyst chair, I think she's doing a great job. I really do. I think she's coming and prepared and cutting edge, and she is the most. What folks need to understand, she is the most unique female color analyst that there is in the country. There's nobody like her. There's nobody that's played baseball. There's nobody that has her street cred, that has her talent as a broadcaster. So I think she's doing a great job. I think it's got to be difficult because she feels the enormity of trying to be in a male-dominated spot. Mm-hmm. So they're trying to break new ground with her. There couldn't be a better choice than Angie. And the rest of the team is the rest of the team. And I'm watching every day, and I now have a unique chair where I can say and see the game and speak to the game as I see fit.
What I like about how you responded to the news of hearing about what direction they were going to go in with the broadcasting was, you probably allowed yourself. You hear players talk about this all the time, right? Give me 30 seconds in the dugout. Give me 1 minute to feel bad for myself and then move on. And that's what I like to hear from you. Is you probably gave yourself a moment, however long that moment was, and then you reset, regrouped, and said, all right, what can I do now to still be a part of the game and move forward? That's a great attitude. Those are always great lessons for ourselves, even at our age. And we're getting older, Bill. We're getting much older.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Even for kids, I think about coaching my, kids' teams, and even at that age is learning to deal with failure. But then, all right, give yourself some time. You got to move on. We got a next inning. We got a next quarter. We got to go. You can't just dwell on it. So good for you.
That's right.
I'm happy for you.
Yeah,
it's really good.
I'm excited about this new place, and I'm trying to learn how to navigate it and how to be. I'm absolutely as committed to the product as I've been in the past. I'm paying deep attention to the games and feel like I'm coming to the table and know that I've looked at it carefully and I have a perspective to bring. And honestly, it's been a fun month and change because the club's playing very well. There's a lot of good things to point at.
It's and I'd say this, and then one more thing, and then we're going to move on. You are missed. I hear it all the time from people. They were missed. Like when we started the baseball season, I would get texts, I would get emails. Where's Bill? Is he back on? I said, just trying to give your privacy, and just said, hey, we hopefully down the road he is, but he's just trying to figure some things out. But you're back, and I just know that you're missed nightly on the broadcast. From not only myself, but from many, 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 many people. Because I think what you did on a nightly basis was never over the line. And that's what I think all team-owned broadcasters need to understand. No one's talking about going over the line and be overly critical. It's just being honest. If the team's not playing well, you have to be honest how the team is playing. You cannot lie to the audience because the audience is smart enough to understand what's going on. It was the brilliance, honestly, of Dave Niehaus. Now, Dave was there for so long that he owned it. I mean, he was almost bigger than the organization. And when they morphed into the television, I mean, you'd flip on the game, whatever inning it was, didn't look at the score, and by the tone of his voice, you knew what was going on. I mean, Dave was, and he told you, hey, they're not playing well, and that's okay. So I love what you're doing. It's great. Anything that we can do to help out and promote. And again, Old School Baseball, all podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple, check it out there. He's got episode 2 is out, will be out this week, correct? And then also follow Bill on social media, old_school_MLB. No one's better than Bill Krueger, 13 years in professional baseball. All right. Let's start. We're going to get to the good eventually, I promise. Let's start with the bad. What happened this weekend?
I think they struggled getting out of the chute. Starting pitching was just not good enough to win. And they've been able to kind of cover that up so far this year because their starting pitching's been about midpoint in Major League Baseball, where it was the dominant force over 100 games or 100 games, I believe, over 100 games or 6 innings or more last year, starting pitching. And there's reason. George Kirby, not available yet this year. And then, of course, Logan Gilbert been out for a stretch of time. And then the experiment, the Wisaf Castillo, was a disaster. Don't know why they did that. Made no sense to me. Sidearm middle reliever trying to start. That was a disaster. But, yeah, their starting pitching hasn't been as good. Their offense has been more than we could have ever anticipated. But, the Blue Jays are pretty good. The Blue Jays have added a little bit of left-hand hitting to their lineup. They're a little more balanced. And they have pretty good pitching. Not as good as starting pitchers as the Mariners, but good enough. And their bullpen's really good. We saw that. When you saw the back end of their bullpen, it was like, no good, not going to catch up here, not going to make a wild, great comeback here. That isn't going to happen. But their starting pitching's got to set the table. And I think it will. I think they will. They're going to get back. They get the big hosses back, and they will. Both those guys are going to come back. They're going to get back to being an elite pitching staff. And Brash is going to get his feet underneath them a little bit. And I think as you look forward with this team, and I'm jumping a little bit ahead, everybody's like, oh, yeah, well, they're going to probably get to the deadline. They're going to do all this stuff at first base and DH. I'm like, no, what they need to do, they need relief. They need another guy. Brash is not going to be, we're not going to go 78 appearances with Brash. They paid the price for that, those 78 appearances. Guy throwing 99, a little wiry guy, throwing 1,000 breaking balls. And, we had Tommy John, shocker. Yeah, he breaks the record. And I'm trying to think of the guy's name because I know the guy. He was a left-handed reliever back in the 80s, my era. And he pitched to 1-2 hitters a night. This isn't what Brash did. Brash broke a record throwing an inning. So you just can't do that. And they know that. And he's going to be back. And you saw him his last turn. He threw the ball a lot better his last time out. So
yeah. The starters right now.
It's that's the story. They gave up too many runs and too many runs early. Castillo struggled the second time. He kind of smoke and mirrored him down in Toronto, but they got to him this time. And there's some definite things to point at. Logan Evans is just trying to hold serve. He's got some work to do. If you cannot throw your fastball for a strike, you can't pitch in the big leagues. I don't care if you throw 50, 60, 70, 80, doesn't matter. 90. You can't dodge the fastball part of the game. He's throwing it 15, 20%. Okay. And he's pitching the wildly interesting 5 different breaking ball stuff. But he's got good enough arm. He's got to find a spot to put his fastball in the strike zone. That's what he has to do. And look, he's got a lot of things I like. He's got composure. He's got good stuff. He pitches with confidence. He's got repeatable delivery. So I think there's good things there. Castillo, I've kind of felt like he's kind of walking the tightrope a little bit stuff-wise because at a flat arm angle, and he's trying to upshoot people and then try to get you to chase the sweep and breaking ball. At 93, 94, not going to happen. He doesn't have that 96 to 97 to 98 in his pocket, and where he's going to try to upshoot you. He's got a problem, which means he can still pitch. But he's going to have to throw his changeup a lot more, and he's going to have to dial it in. He's going to have to get some more. He's going to have to turn it over a little bit more and throw it more as a weapon. He's got to throw more and not throwing it enough. So, and then Bryce Miller. This is a part of the maturation process. You're a blaze of glory when you hit the first year and change, and then everybody goes, okay, now we know what this guy's all about. In the meantime, he's trying to be Logan Gilbert. He's trying to be the bag of tricks, 7 pitches or whatever. He's got and you saw he was better this last time. He stuck to mostly 1 breaking ball, and he was pretty good. And then he just 93 down the middle to Springer, and that changed the game. He was a high fastball pitcher when he got here. And what he's fighting is, when do I throw it and when do I throw the 2-seam fastball? And trying to come up with a game plan for, am I going to pitch down or am I going to pitch up? Who am I going to be? I think he has to pitch down. I don't know.
Okay, but
he's going to be really good with velocity stuff.
Is the velocity, though, a concern to you? Because it has been down all year long. He has complained about arm soreness from day one. He just has not looked right. I mean, he's got an ERA at over 5 now. But from the very first outing, he started talking about his arm not feeling right.
Yes.
And it just feels every time you watch him pitch that the velocity is number one is not there. And he just doesn't look right. I mean, when Gilbert, I guess I fear this, Bill, that when Gilbert and Kirby come back, that he's the next one that finds himself ending up on the IL. For some reason.
It shouldn't be determined by when Gilbert and Kirby come back.
Well, that's true. Yes.
You can either pitch or you can't. And,
but do you sense he
could
be? Do you sense he could be? There's something there that he could be hurt or dealing with something.
Could be. You're being hurt is one thing. Being injured is another. Is it getting worse? Whatever that is.
How do you? As a pitcher, how do you know that? Because I hear that all the time. There's a difference between injured and hurt. How do you, as the pitcher, how did you understand that?
Well, I think it's just general soreness, and you tend to get in the game, and it loosens up, and you're fine. And then you kind of get in that stretch where, it's sore between starts, and you have to be a little bit more measured as to how much you're going to do before you pitch again. And then you have to know the difference between something that's kind of a dull, achy kind of thing and something that's sharp, something that you can tell, from experience that this is not normal soreness. And then you have to get out in front of it. I mean, I think Logan Gilbert was amazingly connected to his arm. To be able to come out of that game, 3 shutout innings, he's whirling and throwing his fastball more, and then yank the chain and come out of the game and catch it early, which is just remarkable. He felt that tightness in his flexor tendon, which is a little bundle of tendons. As if you look at your elbow and you feel that little funny bone, that little bone that sticks out on the inside of your elbow, just go slightly below that, folks, and feel those little tendons that run in there. That's the flexor bundle. And he's got a grade 1. And so hopefully he's going to, so it's like, there's the little, there's the,
I'm trying
funny
to get
bone
through
right
all the
there.
skin and
It's right here.
Yeah.
That's where it is, right there.
I'm trying to get through the skin and
I
fat,
have a lot of experience with this. From the date that he left the game, he's out 4 to 6. 4 he pitches, 6 he pitches in the big leagues. If it goes good, that's just how it is. And you know what? He's nipped it in the bud. He's out in front of it. Hopefully he's going to be okay. Such great work ethic, and he'll be a-okay. So I'm not concerned about that. But getting back to Bryce, these are things between the training staff and Bryce that he has to figure it out. I think he's going to have to get away from talking about not feeling good. You're going to have to start saying nothing about that, or you're going to have to say, I need to stop, and I need to have my arm assessed and figure out what's going on and why. I feel like if it's getting worse or whatever it is, okay. But the idea that I don't feel good, and that's your main kind of starting point, that's not going to fly, because frankly, we all don't feel really good. It's kind of part of the deal, man. You're going against your physiology. I mean, you're supposed to throw the ball underhand. That's why softball pitchers can pitch every day. But you throw that ball overhand coming down a mound, a lot of stress, man. A lot of stress on elbow and shoulder.
I think we should. I think the sport should change to underhand with a baseball. Wouldn't that be sweet?
Yeah, there you go.
It's amazing. I saw a girl this weekend, softball, pitched back-to-back games, 7 innings. Had 26 strikeouts, and I'm just like, God, it's unbelievable. It is amazing how that motion puts very little stress at all on your arm. And the other one is just, you're down for 5 days after you pitch.
Well, that's why, the downward angle on the we talk about angle. That's why you see a lot of tall pitchers.
Yeah.
The more angle, the bat is coming through on this plane like this. Mm-hmm. And you want the ball or like this. That's the bat. The ball, you don't want the ball coming in like this. You want the ball coming in this. That's why you have a hill. That's why you want guys that are like Logan Gilbert.
Yeah. I want you to go back. We were kind of talking about Logan Evans and using the fastball more. Mm-hmm. What ideally, let's say you were a pitching coach, or just as a fan, how much the percentage of the use of a fastball for maybe Logan Evans himself, but just overall that you would like to see a starting pitcher use, the percentage of it.
I sort of can't wrap my head around anything less than 50%, anything less than 50%. Okay. And the game is an up and down game. The tantalizing upstairs fastball. That's so. Look, I know we've talked about this before, Jason, but the strike zone today is this up and down strike zone. It goes from the top of the knee all the way to just below the letters. When Bill Krueger pitched back in the ancient times, the strike zone was the top of the thigh to the bottom of the knee, with a slightly wider strike zone depending on how good you were. If you were good, you got a little bit wider strike zone. If you're the Atlanta Braves, you got both batter's boxes, but that's a whole other story. Until the American League umpires got a hold of them, and you used to have different umpires. The American League umpires were very much pro offense. The National League umpires were more pro pitching. They were a little bit better as far as calling the strikes. But so the idea that type of and nobody since the beginning of time has been able to hit the high fastball. The one just above the line there, nobody hits it. It's a rare moment that they do. So baseball understands that, and they load up with all these iron mics. They say throw 100. I call that mid-90s, because if Roger Clemens and those boys threw mid-90s, and these guys, these Tom, Dick, and Harrys are throwing 100, well, I guess then that's every ball that Roger threw 95 was 100. So let's just go with that, because it doesn't change over like in 10 years or 15 years, bang, it's all of a sudden Jesse Owens breaks the record, and then 5 years later somebody runs a 9 flat 100. Come on, stop it. It doesn't happen that fast. And then the hitters can't hit. It's the strike zone. Okay. That's what this is all about. It's all about the strike zone. So getting back to fastball command, you need to be able to hit the spots on the inside and outside part of the plate. You have to be able to do that. And look at what the success. Here's a case in point. We're watching Mariner baseball. The two guys that are pitching in and out, the two guys that are carrying the game 6-7 innings are Brian Wu and Emerson Hancock. Why? Because they have a sinking style fastball that they're able to pitch on both sides of the plate. Now, Brian is much better than Emerson, but Emerson is now realizing that the top of the zone, it's tantalizing. It's the hot girl in school, but you're going to get burned up there, let me tell you, more times than not, right? It's foul ball, swing and miss, 3-run homer, like it was yesterday. That's what happens. It's the 3-run homer. And it just blows, it pops your balloon and you're done. You got to pitch in and out. You got to pitch down. Because what happens is you get some easy outs, especially if you understand where the fastball has to go. We know the hitter's profile. He likes to hit the ball to right field. He's more of a pull guy. Let's just leave it at that. So I'm pitching according to that. And I'm pitching away from his favorite part of the fastball, but it doesn't mean I'm not throwing the fastball because he likes the fastball. And I get early contact with movement. I hit the spot. He hits a 3-hopper to short, and he's done. And I save all my weaponry for when I need it. You're never going to hear this on the broadcast. Broadcast is all about the long drive contest and the hardest, throwing the ball faster than the train, like when Bob, or the motorcycle, isn't that how they did with Bob Thornton? That's all we talk about. Are the best golfers in Vegas hitting the ball 440 yards? Nobody cares about those people. So why do we need to listen to it? You put the ball in play. The Mariners are putting the ball in play, and they're being very successful, and that has been a change. And it's clear it's changed when Dan and Edgar came in. I give them all the credit. They're winners. They've changed the culture of the organization. Okay? The organization has been failing offensively until Dan and Edgar came in, and now their culture has changed, and there's more ownership about putting the ball in play. Now, they're going to have some ups and downs. This isn't a juggernaut of an offense. I mean, Polanco's swinging the bat like nobody, like Aaron Judge. That's not going to last all season long, right? So I'm bouncing around, but yeah, I think this idea of being able to pitch in the strike zone with your fastball, and it takes command to do that, you're going to have more success. It's very important for starting pitching. The 7th and 8th inning, come in guns a-blazing, 2nd and 3rd, you got to get a strikeout. Yeah, strikeouts are important. That's where you want the strikeouts. 7th inning, 8th inning, guys on base, guys are trying to hit the ball. RBI situations, you can come in and you have to get a strikeout. That's fine. That's where they belong.
The offense, you kind of briefly touched on it, though. That's been the theme this year, has been the offense, which we all predicted during spring training this would be the case, right? that the offense would carry this ball club so far this year. I want you to go more into the weeds on that, because we've all been, what are they doing? What's different? I mean, our eyes tell us it's different. The stats tell us it's different. What is it besides maybe Edgar and Dan just telling them, hey, relax when you go up to the plate. Just remember maybe old school baseball, see the ball, hit the ball, get your, free your mind of all the analytics and numbers. What is there something more tangible that you see that they are changing there as hitters? Because it's obvious they work deeper in their counts, they work the starting pitcher, they see a ton more pitches every single night.
I think it's personnel, and then it's culture. And some of the personnel, I mean, I didn't really know Rosarina very well, but he seems to hit when it matters, and he gets a lot of walks. Give him credit. He's a pretty good breaking ball hitter. And if you can't get that fastball in on him, he's going to do fine. So his average is going to come up. Let's put him off to the side for a moment. What really changed with this team when they were 3-7, and they got they had their tails between their legs coming back from San Francisco, being swept, and Victor Robles does a swan dive into the net. He's what do you call those guys? The trapeze guys, Rolinda brothers, wherever they were. He does the swan dive. That's not a net for that. It's not the trapeze net. It's not out there for you. And so he gets hurt, which is unfortunate. And then right away they got to make some juggling, and then right away Bliss hurts his shoulder or elbow, bicep. The bicep. And so what happened is two things happened. You took two swing and miss guys out of the lineup. Well, swing first, and swing and miss. And you inserted more guys that could put the ball in play. And you got way better defensively, because now Rod Tellez goes from DH to first base, and he can play first base. Mm-hmm. He can really play first base. He's a little bit Twinkle Toes Flintstone, but he can really play. He's a big target. He's got good hands. And because Rayleigh can't play first. Well, I shouldn't say can't. He's over there with the first base club. So he played first. But he's much better in right field. So he goes to right fielder. Now we're better there. And then you've already got Rodriguez swinging at the first pitch. So you got Robles and Rodriguez swinging at the first pitch. First pitch, post pitch. 2 pitches, 2 hitters. Now you've taken that out of there. Now Dylan Moore gets to play. Dylan Moore's playing great. Gets the ball in play, can run like the wind. You get Rivas up from AAA. He's a player. Mm-hmm. I can tell you that when he was up in May last year, I said, this guy's a good player. And immediately, of course, he evaporated. Why would we want Rivas? He doesn't homer. Why do you want a player like that? Because he puts the ball in play, and he walks, and he's solid, and he hits left-handed. The other thing we did, we got more left-handed. We were very right-handed, and we got more left-handed. So then we knew that Polanco couldn't play third, and then Polanco could then be the DH because Ryan Tellez is at first. And then we had to bring up a third baseman. Oh, look at this guy, Ben Williamson. Oh, he's not a real hot prospect for us. He doesn't hit homers. Oh, well, okay. What does he do? He plays third like David Bell, and he puts the ball in play. I mean, we have another guy who puts the ball in play. And then Master Boney gets opportunities because now we shuffle the deck. And he puts the ball in, and he can run. And again, he doesn't hit homers. Oh, well, he's no good then, right? So all this personnel got infused into the team. And then the overlay is the culture is changing. A little more respect for the idea that we're not going to give up at bats. So we're going to try to put the ball in play. They were leading the league in walks. They were second on base percentage. I think they've dropped a little bit. And those things can remain. Strikeouts are way down in the middle of the pack. That can remain. I'm concerned that they could stay in the top 5 in homers. And they're going to come off of that. Polanco's going to come back to earth a little bit. And there just isn't enough homers to be had in that lineup. I don't see the homers staying up there, which doesn't mean they can't get it done. Homers are nice. A walk, a bloop, and a blast. Everybody loves the 3-run homer. It's great. But they can score enough, and they got confidence now in the way they're playing and where these guys fit in. And if Rodriguez can get a good ball to hit a little better, I thought, in Sacramento, and then he's a little better. But, he's just, I don't know. I don't think he sees the ball real good. Because I think it's because he has to start his swing so soon. Then he's cheating for the home run ball early in the count. And then he just wants to hit a grounder after that because he can run like the wind. That's why his doubles are no good. because he's not taking the ball and attacking balls that he can handle. He doesn't have any doubles. He didn't have any doubles last year. I think Dylan Moore had more doubles than him. That's a telling statistic. Okay, telling statistic. He's got to get a better ball to hit. He's got the hitting savant, the whisperer. Keep talking to him. Keep talking to Edgar. Let's keep it simple. He's flattened his elbow a little bit, but he's still long. He just, I just wish he would just, I don't know. I mean, I shouldn't speak to stuff that I don't know. I mean, I've hit a little bit, but why is it that he can't be just a little quicker to the ball and stay back just a little bit longer?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's where it is. If he can see the ball just a little bit longer, and he's got enormous tools. He runs like the wind. He stays up the middle of the field. He's got uber power. You know, I mean, it's all there. Now, does it? So, I mean, we've set a high standard for him, right? We set a superstar standard for him. They paid him like it. So we're left with he's a superstar, and he's not a superstar right now, but he seems to start to gather some ground a little bit. You know, I mean, he's a little better than he was, and Raleigh's going to be hit and miss. I mean, he's just a hell of a player, man. What a player. And the signing him was just what a move, right? Unbelievable. We talked about a Rosarina Polanco. I mean, it's like, you know, he found the fountain of youth, right? I mean, I didn't know that the fountain of youth, Ponce de Leon was looking for the fountain of youth, Jason. And he was looking at Florida. And he should have came because guess where it is? It's in Clay Elum. Just didn't know that. Polanco found the map and he went to Clay Elum. He found the fountain of
Clay Elum.
He's slugging 700. He had like 9 homers before his 100th at bat. And this is a guy that was completely like done. They paid him, what, 12 million or 13 or 14? And he was done.
Yeah.
What we saw last year, done as a top flight free agent player. And then he comes back and he's like a different guy. He's short to the ball. Now they're starting to off-speed him now. They're starting to off-speed him. No more fastballs middle in for him. And they're yanking his chain a little bit. But he just looks like a different guy. He's quicker. He's shorter. I don't know how healthy he is, but man, what a lift he's given this club. I mean, huge, unpredicted that this guy could be what he's been, right? Their best hitter.
Oh, without a doubt.
And when he didn't hit this weekend, it shows. He didn't play one game and he didn't really hit the other 2 games, but he looks good. He doesn't look like he's off at all. He's on everything. So that's huge. And then, you know, we talked about Dylan Moore and Rivas and Mastroboni, and, you know, even Garver is getting on base a little bit more. So, you know, he's a kind of an on-base guy. They're not playing him very much, but he has to play a little bit because you wear Raleigh out. Tellez, let's see. Let's let Tellez play. Let's let him play. So, you know, in the Crawford, oh my gosh, I forgot about him. Wow. On base over 400. He's swinging the bat with authority. I mean, different guy. Maybe just healthy. I don't know. Maybe he went with Polanco. Maybe they went together to Cleon. I don't know. But you know, JP's a really good player, and if he hits and gets on base, and I've always said leadoff hitter. But then I'm traditional, right? I'm not trying to figure out the fraction of at-bats the first 2 guys in the lineup get. Hey, if you look over the long stretch of time, you know, you're going to get
just want a guy who gets on base.
7, 8, 4, 5 more at-bats per week. I mean, I could care less about that.
Yeah,
it's
I'm with
when
you on
you
that.
have the at-bats.
Yeah.
It's like the Celtics. Let's keep shooting the 3. Let's shoot it. We're going to shoot it till the cows come home. It's like, does the stats say so? It's like, no, we're playing the game for real right now. What's going on? Drive to the basket. Get fouled. Shoot some free throws. Get your rhythm. Come on. What are you doing?
You're the best. This is so glad to have you back. It's great. I'm glad that you're back talking baseball. Bill Krueger with us every Monday. Old School Baseball, new podcast. Episode 2 is out right now on all your favorite podcast platforms, Apple, Spotify, wherever you find your podcasts. He's also doing brief, quick 2-minute videos that you can find up on X. Just search Old School _MLB. Again, Old School _MLB. Bill Krueger back on Puck Sports and the Daily Puck Drop. Love it, Bill. Great stuff. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. We'll talk next Monday.
That was great, Jason. Thanks for having me, man.
Again, there's Bill Krueger every Monday with us here on the Daily Puck Drop and pucksports.com. Bill will be joining us. And again, Old School Baseball, his new podcast. Go check it out on all your favorite podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple. I put a link to his podcast page on Spotify, up at Puck Sports there on Twitter, so go give it a look. Also, follow him on oldschool_MLB on Twitter. There he puts up quick 2-minute videos daily discussing baseball and discussing Mariners baseball. Just thrilled to have him back. Love talking baseball with Bill Krueger every single week. He's gonna be fun. It's a fun addition here, as we think this is gonna be a pretty exciting summer here for the Mariners. All right, we got to get golf news. It's back. It's PGA Championship week. Our coverage for the PGA Championship, of course, all brought to you by Synthetic Turf Northwest. Get rid of your backyard, your lawn. It's mud, dirty, and you don't have to water it anymore. Go visit the fine folks at Synthetic Turf Northwest. They're going to help you reshape, redesign your backyard as they did for me. Synthetic Turf Northwest, syntheticturfnorthwest.com. Give them a follow. It is Puck the Picker Majors Pool season. And again, our coverage of Puck the Picker Majors Pool, all brought to you by, again, Synthetic Turf and syntheticturfnorthwest.com. As I mentioned before, we got a brand new synthetic turf lawn a little over a year ago, included a 3-hole putting green. Best decision this family's ever made. If you've got pets, it's great for them. It's pet friendly. They're not going to track mud in. It's easier to clean up their messes. You don't have to mow your backyard anymore. So, hey, Sundays are free. And water's expensive. No longer do you have to water your lawn. It cuts down on the cost. You can enjoy your backyard from Synthetic Turf Northwest all year long, including in the rainy winter months. Do it today. Sign up. Tell them Puck sent you at syntheticturfnorthwest.com. Again, Puck the Picker Majors Pool is back. Our season-long golf contest where you pick 2 golfers in every major. Up this week, the PGA Championship at Quail Hollow there in North Carolina. Then we'll have the U.S. Open next month, and then the Open Championship coming up in July. Again, every major, you pick 2 golfers, lowest score to par, must pick 2 new golfers for every single major. So if you participate in the Masters and took 2 golfers, you cannot use those same 2 golfers for the PGA Championship. Now, if you did not participate in the Masters, that's fine. You are still eligible to play. You can sign up there to join Puck the Picker Majors Pool. Just go to pucksports.com. There's a link there that will take you to the sign up. All right. Now you're behind the 8 ball. Okay. That's it. I mean, you are, but you still can participate. It's simple. You just go to pucksports.com. You see Puck the Picker Majors Pool. You click on the Learn More, and look where the Learn More is going to take you. It's going to take you right there to Puck the Picker Majors Pool. You hit Join Now right there, and then it's going to sign up, or actually it's going to take you to a different page. But you're going to sign up. Eventually, when you do sign up for the pool, for Puck the Picker Majors Pool, it will take you to our good friend Sandman Sports. That will then which is running our contest. As you can see, like our leaderboard right now. Look at Tim O'Donnell. Bunch of people in first place. Tim O'Donnell, David Gordon, Aaron Colby, Chuck Zolmak. We got John Herberholtz, all there in first place because they participated there in the Masters on Puck the Picker Majors Pool. Again, best way, easiest way, if you have not signed up, pucksports.com, top of the page, click there. It will take you there to Sandman Sports. Big thanks to Bill Sanders and Sandman Sports for putting on Puck the Picker Majors Pool. And again, which is brought to you by Synthetic Turf Northwest. First place prize, by the way, is a one-night stay, 2 rounds of golf at Gamble Sands. Second, that's a twosome. Second place is a foursome at Fairwood Golf and Country Club. Third place, a foursome at Mill Creek Country Club. And fourth place is a foursome at one of Troon's Seattle Premier golf courses, plus an hour top tracer range session at either Interbay Jackson or Bill Wright, which is formerly Jefferson Park Golf Course. Go sign up today, pucksports.com. Puck the Picker Majors Pool, brought to you by Synthetic Turf Northwest. Visit them today, syntheticturfnorthwest.com. Tell them Puck sent you. Tell them you want the Puck treatment. And what I mean by the Puck treatment, you want a new synthetic turf lawn. Plus, you need that putting green. Give them a call. Check them out, syntheticturfnorthwest.com. Proud sponsors of Puck the Picker, Majors Pool, and our golf coverage throughout the summer, including Wednesday. We will get a PGA Championship preview with Travis Fulton, former golf instructor, a golf analyst at the Golf Channel, now host of the Stripe Show podcast, and golf instructor at Travis Fulton Golf Studio. You can visit his website, travisfultongolf.com, and check him out on YouTube on Travis Fulton Golf. He'll join us again Wednesday to preview the PGA Championship. Once again, brought to you by Synthetic Turf Northwest. Visit syntheticturfnorthwest.com. Get rid of that muddy backyard. Now we're not in the muddy season. We're in the sun is going to kill the lawn, and we can't water it because water is too expensive portion of the season. So you don't have to worry about that with Synthetic Turf Northwest. They do synthetic lawn installation, custom turf installation, and you can, of course, get their golf green installation like I did. All right, there it is. Lots to cover here. Again, big thanks to Bill Krueger, again, starting his new weekly show with us every single Monday. All right, let's wrap it up with Hey, What the Puck, brought to you by Restoration One of North Seattle. It's your restoration company. Lets you avoid the stress of water, fire, and mold damage with their property restoration services. Locally owned and operated. Make them your first call when these damages affect your residential or commercial property. 206-817-8917, or visit them online at restoration1.com, the North Seattle franchise. Speaking of golf, I want to bring your attention to something that was forwarded to me by my good friend Ian Furness today. It's a petition that's gone out right now called Preserve Druids Glen Golf Course, which is a golf course in Covington, Washington. There is a proposed land issue there at Druids Glen Golf Course, where they're going to potentially sell the land to develop housing. And the people that live down there have created a petition. I have tweeted it out. You can go to my Twitter page, again, at Puck Sports, and check it out for yourself and get all the information on it. I'll say this about golf, and there's always a back and forth when people, you hear golf courses, you hear affordable housing. I'm not sure if it's going to be affordable housing down there, what type of housing it's going to be. I do not know, but there always just is attack on golf courses and housing, and they're always the number one target. And it's the same tired storyline every single time about how there's better use for this space, and it's only for the privileged that get to play golf. There's much more than the privilege to get to play golf. I've worked with all the local Seattle golf courses for years, Premier Golf. Don't tell me about privilege. I sit there and watch what the hard folks there at Premier Golf do, and also what the hard folks there at First Tee of Greater Seattle do, and all their wonderful camps they put on for kids and kids that are not given the opportunity to play golf, and they make that opportunity for golf. So I get tired of that privileged idea that we always get with people when they make this argument against golf courses. Druids Glen Golf Course offers, like all golf courses, a place for people to get out in the open, walk around, play golf, hang out with their buddies, be social. These are good things that we need. On top of that, the charity aspect and things that happen at Druids Glen Golf Course. I'm sure there's plenty of charities that take place there, golf events, no bigger than Mayor of Maple Valley Open, which is hosted for years by Ian Furness. You're raising money for the Holinsky Foundation. You're raising money for Brandon Huffman's DPIG Foundation, raising money for Jordan Morris's foundation. All money raised by that event at that golf course to better people dealing with diabetes, finding a cure, or raising money for research for cancer that took Brandon's young daughter, and then supporting Mark Holinsky, the Holinsky family of those dealing with mental issues and dealing with just, the mental side of life. So again, not possible without that golf course. So I tweeted it out. Golf courses are a good thing. They are not a bad thing. Stop trying to get rid of them. Yes, there's housing. There's plenty of other places to put housing. All right. So preserve do whatever we can to raise awareness for this Preserve Druids Glen Golf Course, and I'll tweet out the petition one more time. And then if you feel obligated to sign up, please sign the petition and pass it along. That's it. That's Hey What the Puck, brought to you by Restoration One in North Seattle. Your restoration company lets you avoid the stress of water, fire, and mold damage with their property restoration services. Locally owned and operated. Make your first call when those damages affect your residential or commercial property. 206-817-8917. Visit them online at restoration1.com, your North Seattle franchise. Thank you for watching and listening today. Thank you to all the sponsors, Limbeck Lumber, also Georgetown Brewery, a part of that as well. Check out their new tavern beer, and of course, Restoration One. Today's Daily Puck Drop, find it up on YouTube. Please subscribe to the channel. Also find it, the Daily Puck Drop, on your favorite podcast platforms, and of course, always up at pucksports.com. When you're there, pucksports.com, sign up to be a member of the Pucks Posse. Again, just $5 a month. Supports all the free content, VIP and exclusive shows, baseball coverage, MLB Insider with Ryan Davis, our new Sports Pit with KJ alum Steve Sandmeyer, Matt Stretch Johnson, our new weekly with Mitchie the Kid on Thursdays, which will air live, but once it's done and we sign off, it will only be available for Pucks Posse members. Great feedback on episode 1 last week. And, of course, we now produce the Garage with Gas Take 5 podcast, which you can find on YouTube and all podcast platforms. And, of course, at pucksports.com. That episode coming out later today. Speaking of the sports, but that's coming out later today there as well. All right, everybody, enjoy the rest of your Monday. Thank you for always watching, listening, and all the support. We'll talk to you tomorrow. As always, promise to be better.
No shoes, no dice.
Would anybody like to smoke some pot?
Yeah.
I was born to love you. I was born to lick your face. I was born to rub you. But you were born to rub me first.
What do you need my address for? We'd like to send out a mailer.
Mother of mercy, I don't speak Japanese!